Yep. I know it almost never happens, but I'm actually starting at the crack of 9. Hey, everybody, it's Wednesday morning hump day on the Morning Night Live. Don't click hump day on Twitter, though, the hashtag, because, oh my God, it's just butts and balls. I don't want to see any of that. Anyway, hey, I got a whole bunch of stuff today. It's just a smorgasbord of media malfeasance. Now, look, just about any day of the week, I could name this show Media Malfeasance because it's always there. It's like, they have their agenda and I like to laugh at it. But we're just going to see what we can get through today because I have tons of stuff. So let me hit the intro and I'll be back at the end about 60 seconds. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night. And stop the music. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Night Live on this fantastic hump day. Yes, Dog. Hey, Mike. Guess what day it is? It's hump day, and it is Wednesday, the 29th of April, 2020 on the, what episode is this? I think it's the 318th episode of the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, me, Marty, also known on the internet as PDawg Night. And I've got my music way too loud. I don't know if you, I got some music in the background, but I think I hit the wrong button. Holy crap, is that loud? Let's see if I can tone that down just a bit. And there we go. That's a little better. Okay. So, I was going to talk a lot about media stuff today, just different things that the media's doing that you go, that the things that make you go, you know what I'm talking about? And because it's every day it's something, but it's also Wednesday. Now, those of you who've been here over the last year for more than the last few months may remember on Wednesdays. Let me back up a bit. My first few weeks doing this show, I had two really major events that kind of shaped how the show was going to go. One of them was the Covington Catholic kids. Remember they were on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and had their little hubbub with the Black Hebrew Israelites and what's his face, Chief Lying Fire Pants. And the other big event that first couple weeks of my show was the Jussie Smollett hoax. So and now there was so much news coming about Jussie Smollett at the time that I used to call Wednesdays Jussie Wednesdays. It's Jussie Wednesday because there was always something there was so much damn Jussie Smollett news that I had to just like save it all for one day of the week, or I could talk about it every day. Well, I actually have a Jussie update today that I missed. I'm like, how the hell did I miss a Jussie update? Because I love that story. It's like my favorite story of all times ever. Well, okay, maybe not all times ever, but it is one of my favorite stories to talk about. And so I do have a Jussie update. So before I do any of that, as you can tell, it's kind of a hip hop day in the music selection. Although it's all kind of beats and stuff. You can barely hear it. It's there somewhere. I hear something. It's there. It's very quiet, though. It's very quiet, but I'm sure you'll hear it. It has a nice little intro. And it's coming along. Yeah. Nice little beat there. Let's say good morning to the people in the chat before we get the thing started, because that's what I do every day. This morning, first in the chat was Donatello Slapafellow. And you get the bell. Thank you for being here. And one of my new regulars. I love having you here. Also, good morning to the Reverend Uh-oh, this is Kyle in the house. Excuse me, let me not interrupt the Reverend Tex Watson in the house. Good morning, sir. Thank you. This is Kyle for the first super chat of the day, $2. Hello, chat and people. Excuse me, hello, chat people and PDawg. Kyle says hello to everybody via super chat. Also, good morning to Mr. Scott, Johnny Hellcat, who's lurking in the background because he's going to be moving today. Now, I didn't say where he's moving. Someone asked if he was moving from hell to heaven, to which he said, LOL, never happened. But then someone said he's moving from one ring of hell to another. Okay, that's kind of funny. All right, and good morning to Johnny Hellcat. Good morning, Adam Richard, Advocatus Diaboli, the devil's advocate. Maybe you know where Johnny Hellcat's moving. Just maybe. Also, good morning to Jay Wolf, Maniac Man, Sheograph, Johnny Blaze. You already said not until. No Room for Squares. E. Michael, good morning. Johnny Blaze. I said Duck Dog, what's up? All you need. Did I say? Yes, I did say Sheograph. Also, Katie did skate, and Becca Farley, Cynical Lindsay. I'm scrolling as fast as I can. Amy in Connecticut, welcome back again. And anyone else who happens to be lurking in the background. I know it's going to be, it's funny. It used to take about 30, 40 minutes to get 20 people into the room. And there's already 20 here. And we've been averaging 50 to 60 a day watching. That is fantastic. That's so exciting. I don't think you understand how exciting that is for me. Lady Boomer reminded me, she could remember when it was like 2 or 3 people would be here and a big day was 10 people. Back when Johnny Hellcat and Hate Camel were pretty much my only listeners, but Johnny Hellcat's still a regular coming around, so that's great to see. All right, let's get into it. We got a Jussie update today, and it's really actually from the 23rd, but I missed it. How the hell did I miss a Jussie update? Well, a U.S. judge dismisses actor Jussie Smollett's lawsuit alleging malicious prosecution. Now, if you don't remember the case, the city of Chicago has decided to go after Jussie Smollett for at least the costs of the overtime that they had to pay all their police officers during this bullshit hate crime of the actor. Well, here, let me read the article because I'm pretty sure the key line that shows up in every Jussie Smollett article will be here. This is from Yahoo Entertainment. A U.S. federal judge dismissed a lawsuit brought by former Empire actor Jussie Smollett, who accused the city of Chicago of malicious prosecution, concluding that his claim of having been the victim of a racist and homophobic beating was a hoax. U.S. District Judge Virginia Kendall. I don't want to assume Virginia Kendall's gender, but that sounds like it might be a woman who has no time for Jussie Smollett's bullshit. Said in the ruling published on the court's website that Smollett cannot bring a state malicious claim until proceedings against him have been terminated. The judge was referring to renewed felony charges that filed in February against the actor of having made false reports to police about being attacked on the street in a hate crime that he is accused of staging in a bid to advance his career. Smollett pleaded not guilty. Hello, Richo. I see you there. And Renee Mayette. Or Miette. I'll say it either way. Miette, Mayette. I know it's Miette, but and when you speak in most of the Latin languages, E is the A sound, except for in some forms of English. Anyway, that's just some trivia there. Anyway, back to Smollett. Let's see. Smollett, 37, best known for his work on the Fox drama Empire, except to real white people in MAGA hats who probably don't watch the show. Okay, anyway. Filed a lawsuit in November after Chicago sued him to try to recoup $130,106 in police overtime costs to investigate the beating claim. He had accused the city, police, and others of causing some I can't even stop. I do have a cup of reparations coffee here, and I need to sip it just to cool down the throat. Hello, Jack Ferdstrom and Jonas Patterson. Excuse me. He had accused the city, police, and others of causing substantial economic damages, as well as reputational harm, humiliation, mental anguish, and extreme emotional distress, and was seeking compensatory and punitive damages. This dude has some balls. Holy shit. The Chicago Police Department's motive was to bring Smollett to justice for a crime it had probable cause to think he had committed, according to the judge's Wednesday ruling filed with the district court in the Northern District of Illinois. So, Jussie Smollett got smacked down. And deservedly so. If it were FTG Thursday, I would say, can we get an FTG for Jussie Smollett? And if you feel it, hey, do it anyway, because I'm just there. Good morning. Is Gun Fox here? Good morning, Gun Fox 61. Hello, my friend. Also, Cindy Rochelle. Hi there. All right, let's move on. Like I said, I got a lot today, so I really need to kind of move through this today, even though it's about media malfeasance. There's one other story. Okay, so this story, I made a statement about when it happened, because this story seemed a little fishy, and yes, the pun is intended. Hello, Selected Boy. Now, you know what? I just thought of a new sound effect I need now just for Selected Boy. Yeah, boy! I need a Flavor Flav sound effect. We'll work on that one. All right, so here we go. I said this story seemed a little fishy when it happened. Remember, those of you who were here when I talked about this story the day after, when they tried to accuse the president of killing this man with his recommendations for a product called hydroxychloroquine. Yes, you may remember the fish cleaning story of Gary Linnaeus. Well, there's an update because, hey, I would share the stream, but I don't do social media. I can randomly call people up. You know what? No, you don't have to do that. I was trying to think of things you could do when you don't do social. You don't have to do social media. It's okay. It's all good. Tell your neighbor. They'll appreciate it. Okay, let's get back. Gary Linnaeus, okay? Gary Linnaeus is the part of the husband and wife team that passed away when they decided to eat some fish tank cleaner, which had an ingredient called chloroquine in it, although it was chloroquine phosphate, which I don't know if that makes any difference, but when it's part of a fish cleaning formula, it's probably not edible for humans. Well, way back then, I said something in particular that may, and I think Lindsay, I think you sent this to me, if I remember right, because I said something that may have been prophetic. I said that I'm thinking perhaps Wanda Linnaeus, who did not pass away from the the ingestion of this particular fish cleaning product. I said that I bet you what really happened is that Wanda Linnaeus probably was trying to off her husband. Now, I had no evidence. It just sounded fishy, again, pun intended. But just the fact that he ingested enough to die from it and she did not. And just the whole story about, who would eat fish cleaning product, no matter what the president said, because the president didn't say go out and eat some. Hey, if whatever you could find with some of this ingredient in it, go eat, right? Well, I think the police are catching on. I think they might be catching on because police investigating death of Arizona man from chloroquine phosphate. Mesa City Police Department opens a homicide investigation into the death of Gary Lenius, whose wife, Wanda, said she served him a deadly cocktail to ward off coronavirus. Now, this picture here is not the form of chloroquine that they took, but they decided to show these pills. The Mesa City Police Department's Homicide Division is investigating the death of Gary Lenius, the Arizona man whose wife served him soda mixed with fish tank cleaner in what she claimed was a bid to fend off the coronavirus. A detective handling the case confirmed the investigation in the Washington Free Beacon on Tuesday after requesting a recording of the Free Beacon's interview with Lenius' wife, Wanda. Gary Lenius, 68, died on March 22nd. Wanda, 61, told several news outlets last month that both she and her husband had ingested a substance used to clean aquariums after hearing President Donald Trump tout one of its ingredients, chloroquine phosphate, from the White House briefing room. Detective Teresa Van Gelder, the homicide detective handling the case for the Mesa City Police Department, confirmed that the investigation is ongoing but declined to provide additional details. As this is an active investigation, I cannot go into any details at this time regarding the case. Van Gelder said the Free Beacon provided a recording of its interview last month with Wanda Lenius. Now, here's what from that interview, a couple things in that interview got me going here, because they were talking about how this woman, well, first of all, the gentleman, Gary Lenius, is an engineer, and a lot of his neighbors said that, you know what, he's too smart for that. He wouldn't eat some damn fish cleaner. And also, apparently, Wanda Lenius is very particular about interacting with doctors. She's, in fact, they kind of, the way they described her, she's kind of a hypochondriac and was very careful about things she put into her mouth. Don't do it. And so that's what I was reading that story back then. I'm like, they didn't do this because of Trump. That bitch tried to kill her husband and she succeeded. Anyway, news of the police probe comes after a series of Free Beacon stories raised questions about the portrayal of the couple in the initial NBC News report that vaulted the story onto the national stage. Though that report and others suggested the couple mindlessly followed the president's medical advice to disaster results, friends of Gary Lenius told the Free Beacon they were skeptical he would knowingly ingest fish tank treatment. Rather, they described Lenius as a level-headed retired engineer and recounted a troubled marital relationship that included a previous domestic assault charge against his wife, of which she was ultimately found not guilty. Maybe because the husband didn't testify against her, maybe? Who knows how that happened? Anyway, the Free Beacon also reported that Wanda Lenius was a Democratic donor whose most recent contribution went to a pro-science super PAC. Science! She blinded me with science. She blinded me with science. What bothers me about this is that Gary was a very intelligent man, a retired mechanical engineer who designed systems for John Deere in Waterloo, Iowa, and I really can't see the scenario where Gary would say, yes, please, I would love to drink some of that koi fish tank cleaner, one of his close friends told the Free Beacon. It just doesn't make any sense. Another source who asked that all identifying information be withheld told the Free Beacon earlier this month that Wanda Lenius would constantly berate Gary in public. Everyone was embarrassed for him, but he outwardly did not seem to care much. In our opinion, their marriage was seen outwardly as to be one-sided, as a marriage possibly could be. Gary worshipped Wanda, this person said, adding that his wife would routinely call him a doofus and humiliate him in public. Wanda Lenius was charged with domestic abuse assault in 2001 after she allegedly hit her husband and swung a mounted birdhouse at him. That's just kind of funny to me. I don't know why. Hi, Mitch the Ripper. Hi, Tyler F. How you doing? Gary Lydius declined to cooperate in the case. That's why she was found not guilty. He's not required to testify against her. There you go. He declined to cooperate in the case, testifying that he was not injured or placed in fear of injury. His wife was exonerated. Wanda Lydius said in a phone interview with the Free Beacon last month that she and her husband had watched the president tout the virtues of chloroquine on the news, citing preliminary studies that showed it may be a promising treatment for coronavirus. She remembered purchasing a container of chloroquine phosphate years before to clean a fish tank. She said the powder, which can be lethal if ingested, is sold by aquarium suppliers and used to treat viral outbreaks in large fish tanks. She told the Free Beacon that she had mentioned this to her husband and he kind of laughed at me, you know? It was just a regular conversation. We weren't big supporters of Trump. Now, here's the thing. Not only was she not a big supporter of Trump, I'm just going to skip that sentence because campaign's financial records show that Wanda Lydius has given thousands of dollars to Democratic groups and candidates over the past 2 years, most recently to the 314 Action Fund. The group bills itself as a pro-science resistance and has criticized the Trump administration's response to the coronavirus pandemic, holding up the Lydius case to slam the White House. Oh my God, that's some circular shit right there. Anyway, and then, here's the other thing. In the same interview, Lydius told the Free Beacon that her husband had been planning to schedule a doctor's appointment to have a leg injury looked at, and the couple worried he might pick up coronavirus at the clinic. That's when she said she reached for the fish tank cleaner in her pantry. What the fuck is fish tank cleaner doing in your pantry anyway? I'm sorry, I said that out loud, didn't I? I didn't mean, okay, I don't always want to swear. Wanda Lydius routinely prepared a vitamin cocktail for him, according to Gary Lydius's friends. Asked if she and Lydius had a conversation about taking the chloroquine at the time, she told the Free Beacon, "No, I mean it was really kind of a spur of the moment thing," adding that the couple ingested 1 teaspoon and some soda each, at least 4 times the lethal limit. So anyway, I'm guessing that perhaps, did she take it? Probably not. Because she'd be dead too. She'd be dead just like her husband. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but damn. All right, let's move on. Now let's get into some media malfeasance. First, I gotta take a quick look at Sleepy Joe though. And I normally don't call Sleepy Joe because I used to call Joe Biden Creepy Joe, only because Joe Biden, everyone knows why we call him Creepy Joe, right? Well, this is just some funniness that I saw. Oh my goodness, all kinds of notifications here. I didn't even see this. Thank you. First of all, a couple thank yous. Thank you, Sheograph. Thank you, Tyler F. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay, Becca Fairley, Jay Wolf. All of you who have shared out the show. That's a good transition into the shill of the day. The Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you would be so kind, share this stream in whatever manner you may. If you're not on social media, you might have to just yell it out to your neighbor across the street. But that's you don't have to always throw money at me. You can just help me out by sharing it. Hit the share arrow. It's down there, I think, somewhere down there. And you can share on Facebook and Tumblr or whatever social media you use. I don't even know all of them that are on there. Or you can just follow me on Twitter, Minds or Gab, at PDawg Night, and I tweet out the show every day. I send it out, and then you guys can do that thing that retweets it or resends it or whatever they call it on those other 2 platforms. And if you really like what we do, make sure that you hit the like button. It's that little thumbs up down below. And for Duck Dog, you know the deal. And if you'd like to help me financially, times are slow, times are tough. I don't injure yourself to do that, but if you're one of those people who are able to and want to throw a tip in the tip jar every once in a while, or have your voice permanently heard on this episode of The Morning Night Live, you can do that through the super chat link down below. It's the PDawg.live. In fact, it just showed up in the chat. It says it right there. This show is sponsored by viewers like you. Support the show with your donations and have your super chats read live on the show. Click here, PDawg.live. And eventually, when I get up to that 1,000 subscribers, well, then we'll we'll make the super chats from YouTube available. I know some of you prefer to use that rather than Streamlabs. So, thank you so much. And if you're watching on a replay, throw a comment down in the comment section. All right, let's move on. This is just kind of a funny thing that happened yesterday because Joe Biden had he had one of his YouTube interviews or sessions with Hillary Clinton yesterday, and I found this quite fascinating. And apparently, now I used to call him Creepy Joe because all the videos of him, just sniffing kids' hairs and being just a little too touchy-feely. Not any, I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just Joe being Joe, but it's weird and it's creepy. But now the president of the United States gave him the name Sleepy Joe, and I never really understood why he would say Sleepy Joe instead of Creepy Joe, because Creepy Joe is pretty common. But yesterday, he had Hillary Clinton on his YouTube channel. By the way, I maybe in the chat, maybe I should think about this. Maybe if y'all think this is a good idea or not, should I start a campaign to see if I can get more subscribers on YouTube than Sleepy Joe Biden? Joe Biden's YouTube channel only has 47,000 subscribers. I wonder if I should try that. Anyway, so Sleepy Joe, now I know why they call him Sleepy Joe, because here's from his 1 hour live stream with Hillary Clinton. Apparently, Sleepy Joe was having a little bit of trouble staying awake.
But we've also
here, let me pause this. Let me make this so it's a little bit bigger. That ain't it. Here, let's do this. Here's Joe Biden during his live stream with Hillary Clinton.
But we've also seen it when we look at the pictures.
And there's
those people on the front lines.
80%
of all healthcare workers in America are
now,
women.
let me just preface this a little bit too. I watched about a little more than half of this live stream, and Hillary Clinton would drone on and on and on, and I missed this part because I think I fell asleep during it because she would just kept talking. But anyway, here's Joe, and here it is.
One out of 3 jobs.
It looks like he's closing his eyes. He's resting his eyes a little bit.
Has been classified as essential.
And
so this is
and if you're thinking he's just looking down,
young and old, every kind of
he's startled. He had a little cough and he startled.
But it is having all of us, young and old, every kind of background.
Yeah, he had a little startle there. He had to open his eyes. So I just found that humorous. And yes, if you have to listen to Hillary Clinton not any longer than you have to, I could see falling asleep too. It was a little bit interesting, but let's get into some media malfeasance regarding this now. No, shut up, Hillary, please. Shut up. Okay, because there's a little interesting phenomenon going on. There's this this young woman named Tara Reid who has made some allegations against Sleepy Joe. But really, now, I know that when Christina Blasey Ford was making her allegations against Brett Kavanaugh, there was hundreds and hundreds of stories, daily stories, regarding Christina Blasey Ford. And it seems, just to me, and maybe, well, not just to me, some other pundits think so too, that this particular story is being blacked out. Now, here's the thing. There are right now, well, when you compare the two, now I don't necessarily automatically believe Tara Reid either. The same questions you'd ask on Christina Blasey Ford's case, I would ask on Tara Reid's case. Why wait till now? Why wait till he's running for president? He was vice president for this many years. Kavanaugh was on these district courts for so many years. You never said anything then. Fine. Those are all legitimate questions, but the interesting thing about this case versus the Christina Blasey Ford case is there's about 5 different corroborating sources that give some credence to Tara Reid's case, whereas Christina Blasey Ford's case, not a single one, not a single person recalled the events that Christina Blasey Ford described. And yet, in Tara Reid's case, there seems to be a growing number of pieces of evidence or testimonial evidence, at least, that this may have been the case. And so it's fascinating how this is media malfeasance to me, because you never stopped hearing about Christina Blasey Ford. And even some of the protestations by like the New York Times saying, well, Kavanaugh was a very big, event, very timely. Well, duh, this guy, Joe Biden's running for the president of the United States. I think that's pretty timely too. And in fact, yesterday, Hillary Clinton never talked about it yesterday with Joe Biden. All the presidential candidates who were talking about Me Too, Christina Gillibrand, what's her name? Kristen Gillibrand. Kamala Harris, none of them saying nothing about it. What's her face? The Georgia representative who's begging to be the vice presidential. None of them are talking about it. And really the media's not talking about it either. So now this is it, but I have an update on that. But here's the story. Virtual blackout. Liberal TV networks bury Joe Biden's sex scandal. Presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden is facing a growing sexual assault scandal, but Americans who only watch the left-leaning TV networks may not have heard about it. Biden's former staffer Tara Reid went public with her claims on March 25th, and since then, new evidence has arisen, making her accusation far more credible than Christina Blasey Ford's claims against then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Yet, left-leaning mainstream media outlets have nearly boycotted the story for the past month. The Media Research Center analyzed the news coverage on ABC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, NBC, and PBS, and the DNC. Oh, it doesn't say the DNC, but that would be redundant anyway. Between March 25th and April 27th, during that month-plus period, these networks devoted a paltry 27 minutes and 31 seconds to Reid's sexual assault allegations. By contrast, ABC, CBS, and NBC morning and evening news shows dedicated nearly 6 hours to Ford's accusations against Kavanaugh in the 12 days after Senator Dianne Feinstein went public that there was an unspecified allegation against the Supreme Court nominee. ABC and NBC have not even spent 1 second on the Tara Reid story. However, according to MRC, CBS has devoted a paltry 63 seconds. While PBS gave the story 7 minutes, CNN and MSNBC are all-day networks, so they had more opportunity to cover the story, but they haven't. MSNBC covered Tara Reid for 4.5 minutes in mid-April, and CNN completely ignored the story until Saturday, when it dedicated 14 minutes and 54 seconds to it. Perhaps these networks are too busy covering the coronavirus crisis to fit in a Joe Biden story. Hardly. Over the past month, ABC, NBC, CNN, and MSNBC all interviewed Biden live on TV, and no interview touched the allegations. Out of 77 questions posed to the former vice president, not a single one involved Tara Reid's claims. CNN finally covered the story after The Intercept reported that Reid's mother had called into Larry King Live on August 11th, 1993 to ask for advice on how to deal with the sexual assault her daughter allegedly suffered at the hands of Joe Biden. I remember it being an anonymous call, Reid told Ryan Grimm. The Media Research Center traced down that call, which confirms that Reed shared her story with her mother at the time of the assault. Now, I'll see how long this stays up on Twitter, because it's been erased from the archives of CNN on YouTube and their own news archive too on their site. But here's the call. Now, this is interesting. I don't know.
We're back. A couple more phone calls on this very important topic. Our guests are former United States Senator Howard Baker, Richard Allen, former National Security Advisor, and Lois Romano of the Washington Post. San Luis Obispo, California. Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm wondering what a staffer would do besides go to the press in Washington. My daughter has just left there after working for a prominent senator and could not get through with her problems at all. And the only thing she could have done was go to the press, and she chose not to do it out of respect for him.
Or she had a story to tell, but out of respect for the person she worked for, she didn't tell it.
That's true.
Well, now, but these are the people who do come to the Lois Romanos, right? The staff worker who says, I want to let you know about what's going on, either with my boss or the guy down the hall.
And a lot of these people have a sense of obligation. They feel that this public official should be accountable if it's something wrong.
They're whistleblowers to the press.
Exactly.
All right, so that was the call. Now, when Ford accused Kavanaugh of having attempted to rape her at some vague point in the 1980s, she could not get one person to confirm her accusation, or even say that Ford had been traumatized at the time. By contrast, Reed's friend and her brother both confirmed to The Intercept that she had been torn up about Biden's alleged abuse. Two more witnesses, a neighbor and a former co-worker, also confirmed that the alleged victim had confided in them regarding the abuse. While Ford was a liberal accusing a conservative who had been nominated for a high governor position, Reed is a liberal accusing a fellow liberal who will likely be the only viable alternative to Donald Trump for the presidency. This fact and these witnesses do not come close to proving Biden guilty, but they do add to the plausibility of the accusation. Specifically, Reed alleges that Biden shoved his hand under her skirt and penetrated her with his fingers in a Senate corridor. She filed a report with the Washington, D.C. police earlier this month. Now, and this is an important line to me, Tara Reid's accusation may or not be true, but it is a major news story regarding the presumptive nominee of one of America's two major parties, and it's utterly disgraceful for the left-leaning news outlets to effectively bury the story. Because they would, I guarantee you, they put that crazy lady on TV when she told the story about, she made up some story about Donald Trump taking her into a dressing room at some department store that was right out of a plot of Law and Order, and basically said that Trump did something that would be physically impossible unless he had some porn star proportions. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. What she claimed would have been physically impossible. But anyway, so it's kind of sad that is definitely some media malfeasance that is part of the theme today. Also, let's see. I think there's another one on here. Oh, okay. Now here's an update though, because there was something that I saw on Twitter this morning that fascinated me also. Here it is from, let's see. Now this is RB Pundit, a guy I follow. Apparently, the Daily Beast, which is a liberal outlet, the Daily Beast has contacted some different pro-women's organizations, including Emily's List, Planned Parenthood Action Fund, NARAL, Pro-Choice America, National Organization for Women, just to get some info. Here's the shot from Daily Beast. The Daily Beast contacted 10 top national pro-women organizations for this story, including Emily's List, Planned Parenthood Action Fund, NARAL, Pro-Choice America, and the National Organization for Women. Most organizations did not respond to a detailed request for comment about the allegation by Tara Reid, a former staff assistant in Biden's Senate office who has accused the former vice president of forcibly penetrating her with his fingers in the early 1990s. Others replied and did not provide a statement. Huh. So, whether this is true or not, the fact that they're gone silent, what happened to Me Too? And Matt working here, he says, why have women's group gone dead silent on Joe Biden's sexual assault accusation? Well, we know why. Of course we know why. Now, I see someone mention Keith Ellison. Yeah, they ignored his allegations too, and now he's the attorney general in my state. The only one who really took the hit, as Jonas Pedersen mentions down here, is Al Franken. And that's mainly because Kristen Gillibrand went off on Al Franken. And now Kristen Gillibrand regrets it. Also, Kristen Gillibrand is still jumping through hoops for Joe Biden. I just, you know what? Granted, there's been accusations against Trump, but they've all been highly publicized. But this one is getting the hide me treatment, isn't it? The hide me. That's hide me for those you can't understand what the hell I'm saying. Anyway, let's see. Let's move on a little bit. More media malfeasance. Remember the other day we talked about the the article, the headline talking about how Donald Trump owes millions and millions of dollars to the Bank of China, and that debt's about to come due. Well, and we read the article a little farther, and we actually read the articles. The tweet they put out was, it was the Politico article. The tweet they put out was like, Donald Trump owes millions to China. And then you read the article, and you realize that, one, Donald Trump didn't have a controlling interest in the property in question. And the group that had the controlling interest in the property in question refinanced the property with the Bank of China, right? So really, this is not about Donald Trump. Donald Trump just had his name on it and had 30%, gets 30% on it, basically he gets a share of the profits because his name was kind of a big deal back when they bought the building, right? Well, the story gets even a little worse. Here's Politico reporting on President Trump and the Bank of China. I'll put this on the screen. This is in Politico from a couple days ago. Politico published an article Friday morning on President Donald Trump's business dealings with China. The headline, Trump owes tens of millions to the Bank of China, and the loan is due soon. Since then, new reporting and information have led us to update and correct the article after publication. The article cited a nearly $1 billion refinancing deal from several banks, including the Bank of China, struck in 2012 with a New York City real estate venture in which the Trump organization has a substantial minority interest. We reported that President Trump, through the Trump Organization, owes the Chinese state-owned bank tens of millions of dollars on a loan that comes due in 2022. This assertion, which was referred to in the headline as well as the story, was based on public documents related to the deal as well as property records. We have sought comment from the Vornado Realty Trust, a primary investor, which didn't respond to our request before publication. Look, this is them saying they tried to verify it. They tried to verify it. The White House and the Trump Organization declined to comment on the record after being told what we intended to report. On Friday evening, Politico received a statement from a representative for the Bank of China USA, which had not been contacted beforehand. Doesn't sound like they got verification. That the bank had sold off or securitized its debt shortly after the 2012 deal. A spokesman said the bank has no current financial interest in any Trump Organization properties. We updated the body of the article to take account of the bank's statement. The original headline was changed to Trump owed tens of millions of dollars to the Bank of China. Are you fucking kidding me? They should have just retracted the article. But there remained an unresolved discrepancy. A 2017 document filed by the loan servicer Wells Fargo with the New York Department of Finance listed Bank of China as having a financial interest in the building. Okay, let me explain something to you from someone who used to be in financing, and I financed real estate. I was a banker of the mortgage variety. When you take out a loan on a property and they file mortgage papers for that property, the mortgage that you file with the county or the state or whichever entity it is in your particular jurisdiction, the original loan servicer of the mortgage you take out will be on file with the state until you no longer own that property. So if you took out one mortgage and then you mortgaged part of that property in 2001, that piece of paper will still be on file with the state. And then when you refinance that mortgage in 2000 whatever, that old 2001 one will still be on file and the new one will be on file with the state. And so you go into those departments and yes, the record's going to be there that at one point, for even if it's for 24 hours, let's say the Bank of China sold off their interest 24 hours later, there's still going to be a document in the file that says the Bank of China was at one time a financier of that property. So this is, oh my God, clearly this is not a financial reporter. The record known as UCC3 indicated that the Bank of China had secured, quote-unquote, interest in the building's fixtures in case of default on the loan. The 2017 document is valid until 2022 when the loan comes due. That's because it's the original filing of the damn loan, you asswipe. So what if it's always going to be in that file. Even if it gets paid off, that particular piece of paper is still going to be in the file. It doesn't tell you that it was paid off, except for the new loan document or whatever they sold it to. Holy shit, these people are stupid. And here's their I'm sorry. Politico attempted to reach other parties to the refinancing throughout the weekend and Monday. Well, you already published the story, you asshats. Wells Fargo on Monday confirmed the Bank of China's statement that it had been listed as a creditor on the building in error. Not even an error. It probably wasn't an error. It probably just was for that temporary time until they sold off their interest, which could have been 2 days later. I have had loans where I've gone in and we closed the loan, and the loan was sold immediately after the closing so that their new servicer would be some other bank, because somebody already decided that they thought that was a good investment and they bought the loan right out the door as soon as the papers are signed. They got a notification in the mail that they would be making their payments to a different servicer. It happens. Holy shit. Holy shit. Our commitment at Politico is to journalism that gets its facts straight. We regret we fell short in this case. Holy shit. Holy shit. Way to go, Politico. But you got the big headline, and there's still people on Twitter talking about, yeah, Trump owes millions to China. I bet he has a conflict of interest. Emoluments clause. Oh, you fuckers. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Oh. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so yeah, and the Federalist did a big long article on this too. Politico essentially retracted the entirety of an article published last week reporting that Donald Trump owed tens of billions to the Bank of China from a real estate deal brokered with the Trump Organization in 2012. Yep. I don't even need to read this article because, it's a very short one. Just freaking hilarious. You know, it's one of those things, anytime... If you've been around long enough to know my rules, what's the rule, people? Anytime there's something that's really bad or a bombshell or the walls are closing in, anytime one of those articles come out, you almost have to wait. How many days? Who knows my rule? How many days? It's X to X, or X to X days. Put it in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Because it never fails. It didn't fail with Justice Smollett. It didn't fail with the Bank of China. It didn't fail. Okay, anyway. It's unbelievable. Now that song's going to be caught in my head all day. Remember that song? Who's that song by? It's a one-hit wonder. Unbelievable. Thank you, Renee Miette. 3 to 5 days. Always wait 3 to 5 days. How many days has it been? Since Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, it's been 5 days. And this article came out yesterday. So, hey, the 3 to 5 day rule is in effect. Motherfuckers. I can't believe it. All right, let's move on. I got more. Yes, I do. Oh, this was hilarious. This was funny. Trump had some fun with a Yahoo reporter yesterday who said something stupid. Oh, that's redundant. Jesus Jones, thank you. No room for squares. Yeah, that was... And they had the Andrew Dice Clay sample of him saying, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Mary. Okay, I'm not going to start saying Andrew Dice Clay poems. I know them all. You know, when Andrew Dice Clay first hit the scene big time, he was on a Rodney Dangerfield special, and me and my friends were, I don't know why we were home on a Friday night, but we were drinking beer watching that. Was it EMF or Jesus Jones? I thought it was Jesus Jones. No? Anyway, and we saw Andrew Dice Clay come out on the Rodney Dangerfield special, and the first he started out with Little Miss Muffet. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider and sat down beside her, and he said, "Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch?" We were rolling, and you know, for 5 years, Andrew Dice Clay was hilarious, and then it got old. But anyway, we've got EMF. Is it EMF? Okay, that's good. Okay, it is EMF. GMF. Oh, right here, right now. That's right. It was Jesus Jones. Okay, but yeah, they were all, you know, that time in there where those were all kind of similar hits. Anyway, Trump snaps at reporter. Nobody knows who the hell you are. So this exchange, let's just play the exchange because it is just, it's kind of funny. Well, here we go. President Donald Trump snapped Tuesday at a Yahoo News reporter, Hunter Walker. By the way, I had an exchange with Hunter Walker on Twitter after this. Hunter Walker, during the White House media availability period, both Trump and White House Coronavirus Task Force member Dr. Deborah Birx took issue with a question Walker asked about testing, which Birx said was factually incorrect. Maybe let's just play the exchange. Oh, no, I don't want a Daily Caller ad. What the hell?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook.
Who's that hoe?
Do you remember the salacious Steele dossier?
At Paychecks,
Okay,
we understand that these are unprecedented.
That's not what I'm looking for here. Let me see if I can fix this. Oh, that's listing the article. I don't want to do that. Well, let's show this exchange. That may be the reason why I'm getting that. Early 90s, yeah. Let's see. What the hell? This is not what I'm looking for. We'll see if it works. Get off my screen. Ads. Oh, I see. The Daily Caller has an ad in it. Okay, we're going to skip this. Anyway, both Trump and the White House coronavirus task force member Dr. Birx took issue with the question Walker asked about testing, which Birx said was factually incorrect. Now, here's the question he asked. Oh. Wait, they didn't show the question, though. I want to see the question. What the hell's going on here?
Media continues to perpetuate all of these falsehoods. And why is it that it always points in one direction?
Pharmacy. Any idea how much it will cost?
Okay, that's another ad. Forget it. Anyway, so Birx said, so to our Yahoo gentlemen, I just want to make it clear that South Korea's testing was 11 per 100,000, and we're at 17 per 100,000 now, because he asked a question. They don't show the question. The question he asked, he said he made a statement when he went to go ask a question. South Korea's had 5 times as much testing as the United States, which is absolutely factually incorrect. And so Birx actually looked it up, had it with her, and said that it was South Korea's was 11 per 100,000, ours is 17 per 100,000. And after Walker continued to dispute those numbers, Birx asked him to check it again, while the president demanded Walker apologize for asking the stupid question. Stupid's my word. Are you going to apologize, Yahoo? Trump asked. That's why you're Yahoo, and nobody knows who the hell you are. That's why nobody knows who you are, including me, the president said. And, oh, here it is. Here's the exchange. I was wondering where it was. I knew it was here somewhere. The U.S. has tested almost over 5 million. It's almost 6 million now. But here's the exchange. As soon as this commercial goes away, we're going to skip the ad. There we go.
So we'll be looking at that.
So do our Yahoo.
Is from South America.
Oh, they don't have the question, though. You have to have the question.
Gentlemen, I just want to make it clear that South Korea's testing was 11 per 100,000, and we're at 17 per 100,000. So
are you going to apologize, Yahoo? That's why you're Yahoo, and nobody knows who the hell you are. Go ahead, let's
Based
go.
on the numbers I've seen,
That's why you're Yahoo. No, that's why you are a Yahoo, and nobody knows who you are.
well, we have had 14
Okay, well, your facts are wrong.
So anyway, on Twitter, this guy decided that, by the way, there's notifications here. Thank you, Chi-Town J and Tyler F for tweeting out the show. Let's see. Let me go here. I'll go into my profile real quick, because I had he tweeted about it too, and it's like, dude, why are you still even tweeting about this? What are you doing? And so here we go. Here it is. So he comes out on Twitter and tweets, in the Oval Office, I asked about test rates and infection rates compared to South Korea. President Trump and Dr. Birx said I was wrong, that they've done more tests per capita. Trump said I should apologize. They did not address multiple questions about our higher infection rates. Stop comparing our infection rates to countries that are nothing like our country. First of all, asswipe. And then number 2, if we've done 6 million tests, it's not even the infection rates. Our infection rates are higher than South Korea. South Korea is a very isolated nation on a peninsula with a border with North Korea that nobody goes through, and you can cut off travel to South Korea a lot easier than you can cut off travel to the United States. Plus, you are a non-hug and handshake culture like the United States, and they dealt with SARS back when SARS was a huge thing, and probably were more prepared to deal with such a virus coming through their country. They're not the same as us. If you want to compare something, compare the 5 nations in Europe that have very similar hug and handshake cultures, and that are having about the exact same number of infection rate-wise and results-wise as far as death. In fact, they have almost twice as many deaths in those 5 countries. I'll show you that in a second. He continues, though, on his little tweet thing here. We have passed South Korea in the number of tests conducted per capita. I misread the mobile version of this chart, and I am sorry about that, Donald Trump. Our infection rate is far higher, as I noted. Here's the latest data on testing that I was looking at. We passed South Korea per capita sometime this month. So good. At least he said I was wrong. Now, I had to respond because why do you feel the need to cherry pick South Korea? A country with very different culture, a history with China and SARS epidemic, a country that is essentially isolated on the peninsula with North Korean border. Wouldn't the EU be a much more apt comparison? So I gave him my little chart that I like to trot out here, where it says, as of 4/28, we have 1 million plus cases, 58,000 plus deaths. If you combine Spain, Italy, France, Germany, and the UK, their population is roughly the same as their combined population is roughly the same as ours. They have almost 1 million cases and they have 102,000 deaths. That would be a more apt comparison. Similar places, similar travel to and from the world, similar numbers of people traveling back and forth from China. And you know what? If we have, in fact, I said, it seems handshake and hug cultures, similar climate zones and tourism are being impacted in similar ways. People, instead of trying to take an angle of who to blame, you would do well to learn why different approaches to the problem all seem to have the same results. If you look at Sweden, who did basically no closing down, versus the rest of Europe did a lot of closing down, and they're all seeming to have roughly the same results. Also, you may want to look at the impact of travel between hot zones to look at how they may have spread. Northern Italy was surely impacted by daily direct flights from Wuhan. New York City impacted by the largest Chinese population of any city in the world outside of China, and since it's been said that a majority of the cases in New York City have come through Europe, how about the impact of Fashion Week, the second week of February? 200,000 visitors to New York. I'm sure more than a few from Northern Italy and that part of Europe. It just seems weird how these journalists try so hard with the statement questions. Not a question, but they want to make a statement. Someone called them gotcha questions, where they're trying to perpetuate a narrative rather than just try to get the information and be informative. I know y'all want to be truth to power heroes, so fuck off, Mr. Yahoo guy. And that's all I have to say about that. All right, let's what else here? We got rid of that guy, and then Josh, you know, it's interesting. This is a good one. Do I have time for this? Yeah, let's do this one. This is the kind of the tale of two interviews, and this is a pretty good one. I'll finish with this one. Oh wait, I do have one other funny one. Am I going to do that one? Let's see, and we'll skip that one. All right, I got two more we'll do, and then we'll try to hit couple trends and go on. This is interesting because again, it's media malfeasance, and it's just how different media treat these situations. So, and this is an example of people interviewing Nancy Pelosi. And this is called the Tale of Two Interviews. Bill Maher presses Nancy Pelosi. Jake Tapper lets her rant. And, you know, whatever you can say about Bill Maher, whether you like him or not, it's like, at least Bill Maher will tell the truth. You know what I mean? And whether you agree with what he thinks is the truth, I think Bill Maher's fairly honest. Now, he's kind of dishonest in how he argues, but he's not going to bullshit you. That's what I think it is. He's not going to bullshit you. He argues dirty, but he won't bullshit you. Thank you, Mr. Scott, with the $2 super chat. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see the bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you. A little Louis Armstrong for you there. Thank you, Mr. Scott. I appreciate the super chat and the tip, a little bit, $1, couple $2 in the tip jar. Thank you, sir. All right. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's carried out another weekend of tour of media to spin a positive story of the Democrats' activities of the week, as in holding up funds for Americans. Remember what did they impeach Trump for? What did they impeach Donald Trump for holding up aid to Ukraine? And the Democrats this last weekend held up aid to the United States people. Just saying. Anyway, she went on a weekend tour to spin a positive story on the Democrats' activities of the week and to get as many jabs at Republicans and President Trump as possible. She appeared on comedian Bill Maher's HBO show on Friday, then journalist Jake Tapper's CNN show on Sunday, but ironically was asked tougher questions by the comedian and made jokes with the journalist. I would love, now, I don't know what you think of Jimmy Dore. He's an ass, but I like Jimmy Dore. Because he's completely honest. And he doesn't pull punches. I don't agree with anything he says politically, but I will watch Jimmy Dore because he'll tear you a new asshole if you're full of bullshit. I would love to see Jimmy Dore interview Nancy Pelosi. That would be hilarious. But anyway, Maher, a longtime liberal and Trump critic, started his 10-minute interview pressing Pelosi on how Congress can spend $2.7 trillion in deficit funds over coronavirus and likely hurt more people with a failed economy than the virus himself. Here, how long is this clip? Okay, we're not going to listen to 10 minutes of Bill Maher, but here's one of the kickers. Bill Maher says, "That's a lot of money, in a very short period of time. I know Congress controls the purse strings. I can't imagine there's much left in the purse. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I know we can bail out certain sectors as we have done in the past. I don't know how you can just keep indefinitely writing checks. We were $20 trillion in the hole to begin with, and all the world governments who are already in debt are doing this. How can the whole world be writing this funny money?" Pelosi said it was a matter of life and death and quickly pivoted to pointing fingers at Trump's 2017 tax cuts and Jobs Act as a $2 trillion tax break for the wealthiest people in our country. Maher pressed on. Well, it will recover unless people get wise to the fact that we're just writing checks for money that doesn't exist. I mean, what is the point of bailing out banks who are just going to loan back the money and that doesn't exist to us again? It seems like it's a house of cards that could, in the end, wind up hurting more people than the disease. And you know what? I've been skeptical of the whole bailout concept in the first place. And I really, I'm like, this is not a good idea. I just still don't think, are we going to be carrying wheelbarrows to the bank? Wheelbarrows to the grocery store to buy a loaf of bread? Wheelbarrows full of money that's worthless, like they used to do in Zimbabwe. Anyway, Pelosi did not address Maher's question head on, but talked about the Paycheck Protection Program sending billions to businesses and government and individuals, and why she stalled on passing more money when its coffers ran out. Well, it's an investment. It's stimulus to the economy. Hopefully when that comes, she said, before again pivoting to decry the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act from 3 years ago. Hey, we're not talking about 3 years ago, Nancy. We're talking about last week. If not anything in comparison to the irresponsibility of a tax cut, almost $2 trillion when you count the interest on the debt. and all of the desert hawks, fiscal conservatives, didn't even give 1 ounce of thought to. Well, there's a big difference in then making up money than letting people keep their own money and let them spend it. Anyway, 2 days later, Nancy Pelosi appeared on CNN's Sunday morning show with host Jake Tapper, where he asked Pelosi about the former Vice President Biden's statement that he supported Trump's January 31st partial travel ban from China, a move that numerous experts agree likely saved countless lives during the early stages of the coronavirus pandemic. Do you agree that it was the right move by the president at the time? Jake Tapper asked. Actually, tens of thousands of people were still allowed in from China. Oh, we should have left the Americans out? Is that what you're saying, Nancy? Anyway, referring to American citizens abroad who were exempted from the ban and allowed to return home. So it wasn't as it was described as this great moment. If you're going to shut the door because you have an evaluation of an epidemic, then shut the door. How about you shut your pie hole? Anyway, Tapper did not ask the speaker if she would have denied American citizens abroad from returning to the United States, or if she downplayed the threat of the virus from China in February when she went on a walking tour in San Francisco's Chinatown, declaring, "Everything is fine. We think it's very safe to be in Chinatown." Instead, Tapper let Pelosi rant, pivoting to stimulus checks and singing the praises of our bill. Yeah, she took credit for the entire bill, by the way. All before sliding in a dig at Trump she clearly thought was clever and wanted to get in before the segment ended. What the president said when disinfectant in the body, you know what they call that? They call it embalming. That's the medical term. Yes, oh, hilarious. Yes, the old disinfectant bullshit story that really is just bullshit. Anyway, despite her discombobulated delivery, the joke probably landed how she wanted it, which was with a... Oh, by the way, she should have gotten... Anyway, because it wasn't funny. But she got what she wanted, which was with a Vox writer tweeting the 10-second soundbite for thousands of retweets. Aww, yippee. Anyway, earlier in the same interview, Tapper did push Pelosi when he asked about sending even more funding for state and local governments in yet another bailout bill. Was this a tactical mistake by you? And Senator Schumer, Tapper asked. Just calm down, Nancy Pelosi shot back. We will have state and local, and we will have it in a very significant way. It's no use going on to what might have been, she added. But despite asking her questions inconvenient to her messaging, Tapper again allowed Pelosi to run away rambling about how everything is going according to plan. My little pretties. Without any follow-up questions. Sorry, that just came out. I just thought, that was... Oh my gosh. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Let's check, before we go into Twitter trends, I'm going to check the hashtag first. My little pretties. Oh my God. Anyway, Skeletor's full of shit. Yes, Skeletor is full of shit. Oh, I had a book. Well, here we'll do both this and the bookmarks. I do have one. I think I have one thing I had bookmarked that I had to show still. All right, in the hashtag today, let's see. Looks like Gretchen lost the top spot for idiot governor. Another 17 coronavirus cases confirmed in Maine. Well, 17 whole cases. Oh my gosh. Anyway, here's the article. Thank you, Skookum. If it ever shows up. Another 17 coronavirus cases confirmed in Maine. Health officials confirmed another 17 cases of the new coronavirus in the state on Tuesday. There have been now 1,040 confirmed cases across all of Maine's counties, according to the Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention. That's up from 1,023 on Monday. A statewide death toll stands at 51. No new deaths were reported Thursday. So far, 163 Mainers have been hospitalized. What did the governor do, though? I want to hear. Okay. I want to hear, because this is the Governor Janet Mills, Maine CDC press conference, the 28th. Let's see. So far, 163 Mainers have been hospitalized at some point with COVID-19, the illness caused by the coronavirus. That's of those, 33% are currently hospitalized, with 17 in critical care and 7 on ventilators, according to the Maine CDC. Meanwhile, another 585 people have fully recovered from the coronavirus, meaning there are 404 active cases in the state. That's down from 423 on Monday. A majority of the cases have been in Mainers over the age of 50, while they are almost evenly split between women and men, according to the Maine CDC. Neva Shah, the director of the Maine CDC, said Tuesday that 245 out of the 1,040 cases were healthcare workers. Shah also gave an update on the cases at congregate care facilities statewide on Thursday, with the Augusta Center for Health and Rehabilitation reporting 75 cases, Edgewood Rehabilitation and Living Center in Farmington reporting 14 cases, Falmouth by the Sea reporting 32 cases, Maine Veterans Homes in Scarborough reporting 51 cases, Tall Pines 33, Cedars 114. The numbers include both residents and staff. So far, the coronavirus is his hardest in Cumberland County, where 466 cases have been confirmed. There's something. Let's see. Oh, okay. I thought there was something about the governor here. Okay, maybe I missed it. Looks like Gretchen has lost the top spot for an idiot governor. I don't know what they didn't. If that's the same article, Skookum, you're gonna have to tell me. Also, let's see. Most fear-mongering trash article to ever both build up and destroyed itself in a long time. Most fear-mongering trash article to ever both build up and destroyed itself in a long time. I read this. You know what? Oh no, Jay Wolf. I see this article too. We'll take a quick look at it. Let's see. This is from the National Post. So the risk of children dying from COVID-19 is far below them dying of the common flu, of which sadly many have died this season. So here's this article from the National Post, and it's fascinating because when I read this, I'm like, why did you post this article? UK says kids with no underlying conditions have died from a syndrome linked to the virus. Experts are investigating a possible link between the coronavirus and clusters of severe inflammatory disease among infants. Now, listen to these numbers. Listen carefully to the numbers in this article. I raised my eyebrow going, why? Some children in the United Kingdom with no underlying, now notice some children. Some children in the United Kingdom with no underlying health conditions have died from a rare inflammatory syndrome, which researchers believe to be linked to COVID-19, Health Secretary Matt Hancock said on Tuesday. Italian and British medical experts are investigating a possible link between the coronavirus pandemic and clusters of severe inflammatory disease among infants who are arriving in hospital with high fevers and swollen arteries. Doctors in northern Italy, one of the world's hardest hit areas during the pandemic, have reported extraordinary large numbers of children under age 9 with severe cases of what appears to be Kawasaki disease, more common in parts of Asia. There are some children who have died who didn't have underlying health conditions, Hancock told LBC Radio. It's a new disease that we think may be caused by coronavirus and the COVID-19 virus. We're not 100% sure because some of the people who got it hadn't tested positive. So we're doing a lot of research now, but it is something that we're worried about. Children were until now thought to be much less susceptible than their parents or grandparents to the most deadly complications wrought by the novel coronavirus through the mysterious inflammatory disease noticed in Britain, Spain, and Italy may demand a reassessment. It is rare, although it is very significant for those children who get it, but the number of cases is small. Wait a minute. Wait, the number of cases is small? What did it say at the beginning of the article? Hold on. It said like an extraordinary amount of kids are I'm done. I'm done with this article. That's the article contradicts itself from the beginning to the end. Thank you, Jaeger Pony, for the very, very generous super chat via the Streamlabs link. Only just got here. Cheers, old man. Hey, old man. I resemble that remark. Come on now. All right, back to the hashtag. Thank you again. Thank you again, Pancalo, the pandemic profiteer, or also known as the driving ape man. Jay Wolf also sent me one. Now this is great. If you're into the saga of Madam Secretary, ex-top FBI official admits Hillary wasn't indicted because they thought she'd win the 2016 election. And she would fire them all, or at very least, they would all be very sad if she won the election. If you know what I mean. Twice failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton was not indicted when she mishandled classified information because the FBI believes she was going to win the 2016 presidential election. Did anyone else think that? This is a shocker, isn't it? It is a shocker. That's a bombshell admission from former FBI General Counsel James Baker, who revealed that the FBI had enough evidence to charge and convict Clinton, but decided not to charge her. I need a duh. I need a duh sound effect. Baker said, had Clinton won the presidency in 2016, the FBI would have been then forced to carry out a conviction before she was even sworn into office. What a disaster that would have been, Baker described to the Washington Examiner. She wins the election, we go to the DOJ, and we recommend that they indict her before she becomes president, Baker said, describing how events would have unfolded should they have decided to proceed with charging her. That's not a good place for the country. That's not a good place for the FBI. Oh, really? Do you think the whole Russia investigation was a good place for the country that turned into crap? Hi, ZZA. That'd be Epstein. Yes, that would, wouldn't it? From the report. Here's from the report. FBI General Counsel James Baker had been told that FBI agents discovered between 600,000 and 1 million emails on disgraced former Representative Anthony Weiner's laptop relating to Clinton. The 2016 Democratic presidential nominee's top aide, Huma Abedin, was married to Weiner, who was being investigated for sending illicit texts to an underage girl. Yes, he had classified information on a laptop. That same classified information on the same laptop that he was sending dick pics to underage girls to. Don't you think anyone might have hacked that or would have found that out and just gotten, oh my God, I can't fucking believe it. Baker, who left the FBI on May 2018, told author David Rhodey that he felt like the fates had thrown him a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Baker believed it was likely that the FBI could find new evidence of wrongdoing by Clinton. Rhodey wrote in his recently released book, The Deep, the FBI, the CIA, and the Truth About America's Deep State. Baker admitted the FBI had to notify Congress when they reopened the investigation into Clinton. Remember that? Comey made the Big Dog and Pony show? I thought, what is best for the law? This is Baker. I thought, what is best for the law enforcement and judicial system, Baker said. I thought the director had an obligation to notify Congress. Director Comey agreed with my advice. Here's more from the Washington Examiner. The FBI conducted a criminal investigation in the 2016 election into Clinton's use of the server. In July 2016, Comey, who was later fired by President Trump, publicly recommended that no charges be brought against Clinton, but he chastened her and her team. Oh, he said some unkind words for being extremely careless. Yes, classified information on the laptop of your assistant's husband who sends dick pics to 15-year-olds. That's pretty fucking careless. Just saying. Fuck. So the FBI admitted Clinton was extremely careless with classified information that she sent and received on a private email server, which probably was hacked and intercepted by America's enemies. According to Baker, she was not charged with any crimes because the FBI thought she was going to become the next president. Does that sound like upholding the rule of law? Oh God, I can't freaking believe this. She still could, legally, they didn't charge her then. Doesn't mean that I don't think there's a statute of limitations on this. Ooh, boy. If Trump gets reelected, I wouldn't want to be any of these people. Baker, oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. I'm going into Bill Clinton mode right now because, I just don't know. Roger Stone says he didn't get a fair trial because of anti-Trump bias. You think? I'm gonna pop into the chat. That's oops, wait a minute. Hang on here. Let's see. I'm confident Roger Stone may have. Well, I'm not confident. I would assume because this juror, the lead juror in the case, had faith. Has a Facebook trail of her being anti-Trump and kind of cheering when Roger Stone was arrested. I think maybe they should be rethinking that case. Anyway, Roger Stone, a lifelong associate of President Trump, who was convicted of lying to Congress and witness tampering last year, said he didn't receive a fair trial because of anti-Trump bias among the jurors. I learned when I got into the D.C. Circuit jury system that I'm not going to be judged by a jury of my peers. I'm going to be judged by the people who admit in the jury selection process that they despise Donald Trump. They want him removed, Stone told John Castaminidis. Okay, I think we talked about this one yesterday. But anyway, yeah, I don't think Stone got a fair trial. But you know what? Who knows? I'm not today's expert. All right, let's check out what's trending on Twitter and get the hell out of Dodge. PDawg, they should all be dragged before a judge and found guilty and shot for treason. Well, I won't go that far, Gunfox, but I think some prison time would be very cathartic for the rest of us who've been paying attention. Send them assholes to prison. Somebody's got to go to jail. And I would say some of the top leadership in the FBI and the CIA don't scapegoat some low-level bean counter, okay? Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Andrew McCabe, possibly Comey, John Brennan. Who was this asshat? Howard Baker. He has the same name as the other Howard Baker. Some of these people need to be doing time. And most of all, but it'll never happen, I don't know if I should say it because it might make me sad. I'm just saying. All right, let's check out the Twitter trends. All right, on top of the header for Twitter trends. Oh, shocker, it's coronavirus. Coronavirus. European countries prepare for easing of lockdown. Hey, that's good news. Spain and France announced exit strategies for the beginning of May, while Germany cases are on the rise after loosening lockdown measures. Read this and more. Now, here's the thing. All these people, we flatten the curve, but flattening the curve doesn't mean the curve's going to stop, okay? You can flatten the curve all you want, but you're still going to get cases, and I think Germany flattened the curve real early, but the cases are still going to rise. It's one of those things. Until you get enough people who've had it that are no longer susceptible to it, it's very difficult to stop. And so I think I think Sweden may have had the right idea. South Dakota had the right idea. I don't know how you could have saved more people in New York. Again, I'm convinced, and I'm not a scientist or a medical expert, but as much as I've read about this, I still think that the climates that where it's dominant and are a big factor. A lot of these climates are moving into the summer months, and that's why you don't see these viruses flourish during summer months. But then we're going to get into winter. We're going to see it at recurrence. I don't think it'll be as bad as it is now, because a vast majority of the people, or I don't even say a vast majority, but as they do the antibody testing, so many people have already had it and didn't even know they had it. So they're probably not going to get it in the fall. It's kind of like, the reason you get all these kids vaccinated in an area, even if you have some anti-vaxxing idiots who live in the area. And sorry if you're an anti-vaxxer, I'm just saying. Those kids are less likely to get the disease that all the other kids are vaxxed for, because none of the other kids are getting it. So your anti-vax kid's probably safe in an area where all the other kids are vaccinated. That's just how it works. And the same thing with this. If we're finding that 50% of the people they test have had it and never knew it, that's a good thing. That's herd immunity. That's less people who are going to get it in the future. Updates. Japan plans to extend state of emergency. Okay. Public health info from health agency by the number. Okay, that's just that. Switzerland to reopen schools, museums, libraries, and restaurants with up to 4 people at a table. Hey, I hope they do that here in my town so I can go to my favorite English pub up the street. Anyway, football matches rescheduled to restart. That would be football like the European soccer style football for those of you the Americans. To restart June 8th, but without spectators. Mass events prohibited until at least late August 2020. I think we're going to see, Major League Baseball is doing the same thing. They're going to try to start their season sometime in July, try to get a 100-game season in, down from, 184 normally in baseball. Spain's de-escalation measures, what we know so far. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez announced that the return of a new normality would involve a series of phases. Okay, Germany faces the prospect of having to restore stricter lockdown measures as its numbers and rate of coronavirus infections grew again. Again, you can do it all you want, unless you want to lock down everybody for 2 to 3 months. So you're not going to stop it. That's just it. They did a great job of, flattening their curve, but the curve, it's just flattening the curve. It doesn't mean you're going to get less cases necessarily. It just spreads them out and makes the hurt longer, I think. Anyway, Polish Prime Minister. Okay. Anyway, so a bunch of European countries are starting to open back up and do some things. Let's see. In the Twitter trends, number 1 is the NCAA. The NCAA board supports name, image, and likeness compensation for college athletes. Now, this is something a long time coming. The NCAA's highest governing body approved a significant proposal that will allow college athletes to receive compensation for third-party endorsements and promotions. The ruling will take effect during the 2021-2022 academic year, meaning when the NCAA, athletes' likenesses are used in things, they can take compensation for them. So if you have a star quarterback at Baylor University and Baylor wants to use you on promotion items that they want to sell, the athlete can take some of the money from it. Now, granted, the school gets a lot of money from that, but also on third-party things. So if there's a superstar athlete that plays basketball for the University of Kentucky and someone says, hey, we want to put you, superstar athlete from the University of Kentucky, in a Sprite commercial, you're allowed to pay that superstar athlete at the University of Kentucky some money for the Sprite commercial he did. I think that's fair. I don't necessarily believe in paying student athletes. Their compensation should be the free education they get. But I think that if you're going to use their images and likenesses on things and sell shit with their image and likeness or their number or their jersey number or whatever, their name on it, I think it's fair to give them some of the money from that. Now, it's not going to happen with every athlete, but it's only going to happen with superstars, and someone's going to be like, he gets it, but I don't care. Anyway. All right, let's move on. That's the big news. The Board of Government moves towards allowing student athlete compensation for endorsements and promotions. Fantastic. They're allowing that. Number 2, Wednesday wisdom. Let's get some wisdom for Wednesday. Duncan Jones, meditation builds productivity superpowers. You learn to see emotions before you act on them. This helps you catch flashes of boredom before they take you off task. All it takes is 10 minutes a day. What's stopping you? Well, Duncan, I don't know. I've never thought of meditating to build productivity superpowers, but hey, maybe I'll try to learn. But, that sounds pretty new agey BS to me. Hey, Ms. Krasenstein, yay! Brian Krasenstein, or his uglier twin brother, tweeting under the name of one of their wives, and famous Trump haters say, since Fox News has now seemingly made it their mission to bring down Biden with shaky allegations, here are the facts. Oh my God. Did they write a Medium article? Yes! Brian Krasenstein and his uglier twin brother writing on Medium are going to give us the facts about Tara Reid. For now, I'm gonna put it in the chat because I don't want to go through it. But yes, they have done the investigation on Tara Reid. Witnesses be damned. She has, let's put it this way. She has far a great, I would say, I'd say 100% more witnesses than Christina Blasey Ford had, but that's not even possible because 100 times 0 is still 0, and Christina Blasey Ford had no corroborating witnesses, and Tara Reid has some. Now, who knows if they're good or bad or ugly or real or not, but from a journalistic standpoint, you would think that this would be far more credible than anything Christina Blasey Ford has ever uttered in her entire life. Just saying. All right, let's see. Oh, Voice of Reason. This is also an anti-Trump one. Let's see. This is a picture of the Hasidic community at a funeral gathering in Williamsburg, New York. Unacceptable. They're not only putting their own lives at risk, but with the lives of the medical community and their families. Wake up, people. This virus is deadly. Now, this is interesting because Mayor Bill de Blasio had an interesting tweet yesterday. And it was fascinating that he would tweet something like this in New York, of all places. Here's Bill de Blasio. My message to the Jewish community and all communities is this simple. The time for warnings has passed. I have instructed the NYPD to proceed immediately to summons or even arrest those who gather in large groups. This is about stopping this disease and saving lives, period. Wow. I don't know if that's a good look for a mayor of a large city in the United States to be threatening to round up and arrest a lot of Jews. Just saying, Bill, that's not, I don't know that that's, I don't know if that's cool, Bill. That's probably not cool. I just say that out loud? I'll say that out loud every day. Any more Wednesday wisdom? I'm going to skip that. And yes, people are, we'll get into this one in a second because I'm sure it's still trending. Trending number 3, Elon Musk is trending. He blasts coronavirus lockdowns. Oh, it's a Newsweek article, so you know it's going to be critical of Elon Musk. I'll just give you the lead here from the Newsweek article and put that in the chat. Elon Musk blasts coronavirus lockdowns. Free America now. Elon Musk has clearly had enough of the lockdowns, being advised by experts to limit the spread of COVID-19, writing in it on Twitter today. Free America now. The Tesla boss vented his frustrations while praising Texas Governor Greg Abbott's plans to reopen some businesses in the state from Friday and sharing a newspaper op-ed with the caption, "Give people their freedom back." In response to one Twitter comment, Musk wrote, "Reopen with care and appropriate protection, but don't put everyone under the de facto house arrest." The outspoken billionaire, who frequently uses social networks to voice his personal opinions, blasted the nationwide lockdowns after it surfaced that Tesla has been forced to scrap plans to recall workers and resume productions in its Fremont, California plant this week as officials extended health orders on Monday, as reported by CNBC. Yeah, you know, see how they did there? This is Newsweek now. Remember who you're listening to. This is one of those media things where they try to make it about, oh, yes, it's this Musk being selfish. He's a billionaire who wants his factory workers back, right? See how they frame that shit? They do it all the time. Anyway, so that's Musk. I put the article in the chat if you want to read that one. Let's go. Wednesday morning, we'll skip. Justin Amash is trending number 5. He's the former Republican Justin Amash. Begins the third-party bid for the presidency. Yay, Justin Amash. Very well done, but you are going nowhere with that. Something in K-pop's trending number 6. I can't read it, so I'm not doing it. Irfan Khan, the Indian actor, Bollywood actor who was in Slumdog Millionaire, The Life of Pi. He has passed away. India mourns the loss of actor Irfan Khan, the actor who is famously known for his work in The Life of Pi, Makbul, Pang Singh, Tomar, The Lunchbox, Jurassic World, Inferno, and more, died in a Mumbai hospital. The actor had announced he had been diagnosed with a neuroendocrine tumor in 2018, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to list it as coronavirus. He's a good actor, and all those movies. Well, I know a couple of those movies I've seen. They're pretty good. So, rest in peace, Irfan Khan. Moving on, trending number 8. Feel No Way, some hip hop thing. I'm going to skip it because I'm not too. Oh my God. Okay, I'm skipping this hip hop one, but the next one, trending number 9. Extend the lockdown. Really, Twitter? Extend the lockdown is trending? Give me a break. The Democrat. Oh, I see. Well, there's different. Well, let's see how this goes. The Democratic Party paid a bunch of people from Nigeria to trend extend the lockdown thread. If you don't believe me, just read the thread. Anyone who doesn't think liberals want to keep the economy crashed for political reasons is the mother of all idiots. Okay, so this is someone here. This is Nigeria, though. I can't remember what that flag is. Sometimes if you go like this, if you click it, it'll tell you what flag it is. It doesn't tell you. Anyway, this made my morning, guys. Stay home or else. Here's this. Let's see this.
Yes.
To warn people to stay home, else.
Yes, we'll carry them. We'll bury them. We are going to dance with them.
Nice one.
Oh no, these are the funeral guys. Is this Gambia? Okay, they're saying stay at home or else. These are the Gambia guys dancing. All right.
Want people to stay home, else.
All right. Let's see here. Extend the basic education. Are y'all normal? Extend the lockdown. Kids cough like this, but you want to open the schools. Yes. Yes, because kids aren't going to die from this. Not at least. Jesus. Very little. Hit like if you agree. Students must have this extend the lockdown. Are you kidding me? On these. Oh, and also, I wish I had anyone have the clip where the people were faking the picture. They were setting up the picture of a nurse. Staring down protesters. They set it up real quick, took the picture, and then pulled it out. I want to see it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it. Anyway, extend the. You got to be kidding me. Wellness Wednesday, we'll skip. Fire Desire, that's hip hop. I'm skipping that. Happy birthday, Candace. Oh, good Lord. For those of you who have a love-hate relationship with Candace Owens, it is Candace Owens' birthday. And you know what? I don't hate Candace Owens. I just think she's a kind of a... Who is Jeff? What's Jeff's last name? Jeff, who writes for Red State, calls her a Sesame Street conservative because she's, and Charlie Kirk and all the talking point conservatives. who, they know the talking points, but don't ask a question they haven't practiced because they might go off on a rail. And that's how I describe Candace Owens. But anyway, since Happy Birthday Candace is trending number 7, I think it's appropriate to take a trip down memory lane. This is from News One, which is a pro-black news outlet. Every receipt proving Candace Owens is a con artist. Okay. But there's people out here wishing Candace Owens sincerely a happy birthday. Some people are saying it's all the bots. Oh my gosh. Some people are just... Oh, and then of course, the tap dancing one. There are some people sincerely like Candace, and some people hate her. But you know what? I don't hate her. She just has a lot of learning to do, and she's not interested in hearing from me. So there you go. Moving on, Wonho and Jong Dae are both having to do with K-pop. I'm skipping those. Hasidic. De Blasio breaks up Rabbi's funeral and lashes out over the virus, which we did see that. I don't know if that's going to show up as a article I can read. Oh, the New York Times let me read that one. Mayor Bill de Blasio lashed out at Hasidic residents of the Williamsburg section of Brooklyn late Tuesday night after personally overseeing the dispersal of a crowd of hundreds of mourners who had gathered for the funeral of a rabbi who died of the coronavirus. In a series of tweets, Mr. de Blasio denounced the gathering, which police broke up, and warned the Jewish community and all communities that any violation of the social distancing guidelines in place to stop the spread of virus could lead to summons or arrest. Now, I'm very curious, and maybe someone knows out there. Any of you guys, any of y'all heard of anything that having to do with Ramadan in New York City? Because there is a large Muslim population in New York City, and I know it's Ramadan. Have there been any Muslim gatherings that have been broken up by the New York police? I'm just curious, and not that I want them to. I think they should be free to worship however they want. If they're going to take a chance and go to their mosque and celebrate Ramadan, I think it should be fine. If you're going to go to a funeral for somebody, I'm sorry, Mayor Bill, but I don't understand. I get it. Yes, you want people to not gather, but they're going to a funeral. Have some respect, okay? I don't know. That's up to them if they're going to take that chance. I don't know. Anyway, the namesake is trending. I'm moving on, obviously. The namesake is trending. Something about celebrities, the namesake. Okay, that's for that Iran Khan. St. Catherine of Siena is trending. Which is a school. Be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire. St. Catherine of Siena. Oh, it's the happy feast day of St. Catherine of Siena, born in 1347 in the midst of a plague and survived. Appropriate. Patroness against illness, pray for us, canonized in 1460, first lay woman to be declared a doctor of the church in 1970. My favorite quote of hers, be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire. So that's, it's the feast day of St. Catherine of Siena, someone who survived a plague. That's very appropriate. Johnny Blaze, what's up? They don't want to explode the Ramadan gatherings. Oh my God, stop. Irish Rose, I didn't see you there. And good morning, Check Your Logic. Also, I'm glad you're here, fam. Nice to have you around. Chanis, that's a K-pop thing I'm skipping. The namesake, Blasio. Okay, yeah, Blasio is having a tough day with the Jewish people. And Hump Day is trending number 20. If you want to go on Twitter and click Hump Day yourself, you can do that. But like I said, it's usually it's full of asses, boobs, and balls. I'm not kidding. So if you want to click Hump Day and you want to see somebody else's humps, that's up to you. It's usually not pretty though. I'm just warning you. Don't think you're going in there and seeing some sexy shit in there. It's not. And on that note, thank you everybody for being here on the Morning Night Live. I can't tell you how happy I am that you dropped by today. Thank you. I am here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT. On Mondays, I'm sometimes late, and I'm just going to say that every day forever now. And If you would be so kind, on your way out the door, please hit the like button if you like what we do. If you're watching on replay, please put a comment in the section down there so that I know you were here and I could say thank you. And also, if you would like to support the channel with your generous or mild or tips or whatever donations, you can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, or you can at PDawg9.live. But again, a lot of people not working right now, so please don't put yourself in detriment. We're all kind of in the same boat. We're all light on income, and some people have no income right now. So I don't want you to put yourself in jeopardy. Just share the stream, and hopefully things will get better for you soon. Hammer or MC. I haven't seen you for a couple days. How you doing, my brother? All right. And that note, I gotta go. But again, thank you for being here. If you, I gotta do another AMA day. We'll do that sometime soon because there's a lot of new people here who don't know the ins and outs of PDawg Night. You may not want to know the ins and outs of PDawg Night, but anyway, I gotta go. Thank you for being here. My name is PDawg Night, and I am out of here. Have a great day. Goodbye. Hey, this is PDawg Night, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Night, and I'm out of here.